I use this tiny little trumpet, which is the one that I often play Handel's music on, but I also used it to record the music for the BBC's Antiques Roadshow. Being very little, you see, it gets these high notes very easily. But that's nothing like the trumpet was in the old days. It's appropriate that I played that theme tune because I do actually collect old trumpets, and you can see some of them here. Very, by and large, they go in sort of 50-year batches. So we go right back to 1700. The music of Purcell, the trumpet looked like that. You can see it's got no valves on it at all. They just made their lips vibrate at the right speed. 50 years later, by about 1750, the trumpet was just getting a bit shorter. It worked in much the same way. So that takes us up to the time of Handel that we're discussing. By the time Haydn visited London in the 1790s, so we're talking about 1800, this trumpet was being manufactured in London. It's exactly the same, except you can actually tune some of the notes so that it sounds perfectly well in tune. Then the big break happened. In about 1820, the valves were invented. Now here's a very early valve trumpet. You can see it's only got 2 valves on it, and it's enormously long. This one actually was built in 1888, and they used to play Messiah on it in the Albert Hall and spray the audience with all the notes, you see. So it's very spectacular looking. And this one was made in 1913. So again, it's getting shorter and shorter. And being shorter, it makes it a little safer. You're more inclined to play the right notes. When it was very long, only very few people could actually master the instrument. So by the 1950s, when I came into the profession, my teacher would have played on an orchestral type trumpet, but it was a little bit shorter. So it was pitched a bit higher. And nowadays we play one even shorter still. Like, as I say, in fact, the one I will be playing in Hastings is exactly the same length, the same make, but so that it looks historical, not to say hysterical, I've straightened it out. In the assize courts in England until 1963, probably from medieval times, they had a pair of trumpets that would announce various fanfares, the most significant of which is the arrival of the judge. And it goes like this. I think we all recognise that. And what's more, Handel's audience would have recognised it. Immediately, the fanfare is the arrival of the judge. So towards the end of Messiah, you suddenly hear this to people then, it was very familiar. This is the announcement of judgment. And I've always regarded the aria, the trumpet shall sound, as Handel's testament of faith. The trumpet shall sound, and we shall be saved incorruptible. It says it all. It said it all. That's why it's such an important moment in this wonderful piece. It's the climactic moment of this wonderful piece, because it's judgment, and this is where we shall be saved. That's what Handel's telling us. And so I get a terrific knot in my stomach when it's coming up. Not of fear, not of a hem, but sort of awe.